So this is the, hopefully you're found the right place, this is the Future of the Franchise panel. And we're going to talk about, after the main series of books are done, maybe not chronologically, but outside of the main series of books, what else can we look forward to from the Wheel of Time? And we have several guests with us today, including a last-minute lineup change. And so we're going to, oh, there's Jason. Okay. So we're going to let each of them introduce themselves and speak about why they are an expert on this topic. First, we'll start with our lineup change, since Harriet was unable to join us because hopefully you won't all get up late, but she's actually doing the signing with Brandon down the hall, so you should have time maybe to do both, but if you divide and conquer. But so as a very adequate fill-in for Harriet, which is big shoes to fill, we have Larry Mondragon and am I saying it right?
It's
Close.
pronounced loudly. That works.
All right. Can you introduce yourself and tell people why you are an expert on this topic?
Sure. Back in 2002, I first started working on a project that I really didn't know much about. And it kind of fell into my lap. And it was an opportunity to develop a film project for the Wheel of Time. I'm a semi-literate sci-fi fan. I wasn't at the time a big fantasy fan, and surprisingly, I really had never heard of the Wheel of Time.
Boo hiss.
Well, surprise, surprise. And a wonderful thing happened to me at that time, and I was able to take basically a new career direction. I've been a practicing lawyer for many, many years, working in technology. And was able to really move out of things that I had done for a long time and really pursue a passion. And I have been on that pursuit now. The years have kind of flown by. But I'm in the business of doing two things right now, and that's producing a feature film in partnership with Universal Pictures based upon our beloved Wheel of Time series. And I'm also starting up a video game company to develop a family of video games, also based on the Wheel of Time. It's kind of funny, as I began to really immerse myself in the series, I could see all the connections. My last name is Mondragon, but everybody always calls me Mondragon, and only Dragon. And my middle name is Alan, or Alan. So the connection is interesting. And it didn't take long before some of the people on the various boards were starting to make that connection too. And I've been really fortunate. Probably no such pursuit has ever begun with the type of tight-knit fan community that exists within the Wheel of Time. And the resources are tremendous. And I've been really, really lucky to make the acquaintance and really be able to draw upon the support and experience and insight that Melissa Craig and Jason Denzel have been able to bring to both our projects. So with that, I'll leave my introduction.
No, that's good. And so, great lead-in. Melissa Craig and Dombrowski, I'm going to call you both your names.
That's fine, they're both my names.
Yep, so please introduce yourselves and speak about your part in this project.
Sure. I run Tarvalon.net, and I also have helped with the comic book series that came out, and I am working with Larry on the video game aspect of this. That's pretty much it.
Well, Melissa is our online community director. One of the things that we recognize is that with this vast online community, one of the things we did not want to do is go off and try to design a game and then take it out and just find it and miss the mark. One of the things we really want to do, and I try to do myself, is keep our eyes on the audience. Listen to what's going on in the forum, listen to ideas, suggestions, and at the appropriate time, we'd like to conduct some alpha, beta testing. We want to get as many people to provide as much input and guidance so that when we build a game, it'll be one that people really know and want to buy and play.
I'm your token fan. I infiltrated so that they don't screw it up. So you got somebody on the inside.
Well said.
And Jason.
Yeah, my name is Jason Denzel. I'm the webmaster of DragonMount.com. I've been involved in the Wheel of Time through DragonMount since 1998, and right off the bat, I because of Dragon Mountain's popularity, and it was right about that time that all the a lot of merchandising was beginning with the series, and a lot of product tie-ins, and so in order to market to all you wonderful people, they went through Dragon Mountain and some other sites, but largely they went through us to get feedback and to promote the products and stuff, and that nicely translated to they would send me a lot of free stuff to look at. But then what happens that I found that this was perhaps there were a card game for a while. There were certainly other products. There were the jewelry products that are on sale at Badali and everything. And I would start providing feedback. At first, a little unsolicited, but I'd be, hey, this is really great, but people might like it better if you X, Y, Z. And then so over the years, I think I established a reputation as, hey, this is really great. This guy will give you feedback and tell you what the fans really want, and they seem to respond well to that. And then so became involved in a couple. The movie rights to The Wheel of Time have been through several hands before landing in Red Eagle's lap, and I was involved in all those efforts. And I don't know if I've even told you this, Larry, but how many times with different producers I've had the conversation about who should do the opening voiceover for The Eye of the World, and with 3 or several different producers, and we have enough like this. And but in terms of this particular for the film project, and I'm involved a little bit in the game stuff, just kind of mostly at a news level. I get updates from Larry, kind of report on things, and loosely involved. I'm a little more deeply involved in the process of the Eye of the World movie, the Wheel of Time movie, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit here. In addition to running Dragon Mount as a hobby, my other hobby is I'm an independent filmmaker. So I've got that perspective on that is helpful in this sort of adaptation. I have done mostly short films, won some awards for them along the way. Most recently I shot a fantasy film, large special effects, that sort of thing. Not finished yet, but you can see a lot of it on various websites and stuff. Go to jasondenzel.com, there's links to things like that. So. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, because I know it's on the little agenda, obviously we're not going to get to it without Harriet or Brendan here, but I can probably speak just a little bit about the Outriggers and the other books beyond. Obviously they are the authority, and there's not a whole lot to tell, but probably talk a little bit about it based on what they have told me and has already been said.
I totally need to work on my introductions page.
So we are going to make sure that we have preserve lots of time for Q&A, but to set the stage, we're going to give an opportunity to kind of feature why each of them are here. So Larry, I'm wondering if you can tell us just a little bit about the progress that you've made so far, and where you see things going in the near and maybe distant future.
Okay, let me break it up into 2 pieces. First, I can give you an overview of where we are in games. The game company, in fact, both projects, disappointed to say we're behind where I was hoping we would be when I spoke at this event last year. That being said, some of the progress we've made has been important, mostly behind the scenes. We're putting together a game company from scratch. What we decided we did not want to do is simply take a set of rights and license them to somebody else. We want to have, with both the projects, the passion in which we approach this. We want this thing to be done right. We want it to be done first class. And so we spent a lot of time building a company from the ground up. We've entered into a worldwide retail distribution agreement with Electronic Arts. We distribute our games in all countries, all major countries in the world. We brought on board as a story advisor in our games a Hollywood screenwriter, Chris Morgan, who's better known from some of his works like Fast and Furious or Wanted, but believe me, he has real real-time chops. He's read the entire series, and he has an appreciation for the nuances of each character in a way that is a tremendous asset to our ability to really bring these characters out in video games. Recognizing that building a company organically takes a long time, we're complementing an in-house team that we're working to assemble with an experienced third-party developer, Seed Entertainment, who we've entered into a partnership with. You may know Obsidian. They've developed fantastic role-playing games, such as Knights of the Old Realm, based on Star Wars, Neverwinter Republic. Knights of the Old Republic, thank you. Neverwinter Nights. They just Fallout New Vegas, and their newest game, Alpha Protocol, just was unveiled at Las Vegas. They specialize in role-playing action games. And,
If you haven't played Fallout 3, you totally should. It's so awesome.
So, you know, again, we're building everything from the ground up. We're also going to self-publish our games, so as opposed to turning them over to an Activision or an EA, we're going to be using EA for distribution, but we're going to be responsible for advertising, marketing, ultimately getting the word out to the public. Yeah.
What's the style of the game?
We're still in the process of design. One of the things that has kind of caused us a lot of thought over the last year is that the whole business of video games has really been changing right before our eyes. Costs of video games, I can talk more about the business. I won't go too far into it, but just to say that the demographics of who plays games is becoming broader. Game playing is becoming more social. New methods of delivery of digital downloads are becoming more predominant. There's less price inelasticity. People are more price sensitive, so paying $60 for a top premium game, you're finding fewer people at that price point who will buy. And so one of the things that is necessary, as Harriet talked about yesterday, as I sat through her talk on editing, is that she's really at the intersection between art and business. Brandon wants to write what his heart tells him he should write. It's up to the editor, basically, the publisher, to basically say, okay, where does that passion and that work of creative endeavor translate into a business opportunity? Because there's cost in getting a product out to the shelf. And the same thing with the video game business. Games right now, top premium games, easily go between 20 to 35 and $40 million to produce. You add on top of that another $7 to $10 million to advertise and promote. So it's the cost of a middling theatrical release for a movie. And so one of the things that's important to us to do right now is to take stock of these changes in the game business, much of which has happened over the past 18 to 24 months, and make sure that our design fits with where the trends are going.
Is it safe to say, Larry, that you do not intend to simply make a video game based on a movie of Wheel of Time that gets turned out?
Yeah, let me address that. The thing that we are absolutely, one of the two things. We want to benefit from the movie and its publicity. What we hope will happen with the movie is that we'll find our family growing greatly. If we do it well, we'll find events like this, tremendously increase in size. So we want to take advantage of that, but at the same time, one of the things we want to absolutely avoid is this litany of horror stories about, cheaply made, shoddy video games that come out and parrot the movie in a very poor way. One of the things that we've done that is rather unique in Hollywood is that we succeeded in partitioning off all the video game rights before we began our discussions with Universal. Typically what will happen is that a studio will basically buy a franchise, like Harry Potter, and they'll put a project in development. And with a first film, what you'll find is that no game company wants to begin spending money until a project is well along in production. And so what will happen is the studio and the game company really won't come together until very late in the product release cycle for the film. And so the studio the game company may have 18, maybe 24 months at the outside to try to, from the ground up, develop, design, and deliver a quality game to the market. Not surprisingly, corners are cut, quality suffers, and a very one-dimensional game experience emerges. What we've decided to do, and did successfully, is we partitioned these rights out from our movie rights, and we're separately pursuing them independent of the movie. And with our whole goal of delivering an experience that is quite unlike the movie, that will reach a level of quality that few movie-based games ever can aspire to. So, long answer to your question.